and gentlemen, Munciana Courtside, Show 2, Season 6, Mike Lingenfelter, Randy Gardner, fresh off of his middle school camp today at Jay County, ready to talk some serious volleyball.
No doubt.
Start with Jay County Middle School, or you got other things in your mind?
You know, I found out that Jay County has a antique and tractor show that brings in about 100,000 people.
Jay County, the largest county in the state of Indiana.
Unbelievable.
Keep it in mind.
And there's about 75,000 golf carts driving around that town right now. So.
I like it.
Out of control.
Glad you made it.
Yep.
Let's get it going.
All right, last week highlights. Saturday, we had a bunch of good matches last week. Westfield went to Lawrence North. They won in 5. Newcastle went to Center Grove and won in 5. And Fishers lost in 5 to Carmel.
Newcastle and Center Grove was the crown jewel of that. A war, and really odd scores. Newcastle comes out, gets beat 25-19, wins 25-7. Then after that, it's one of those 2-point battles, 32-30, 23-25. I think those two teams are going to be in the hunt all year long. I told you that I thought Center Grove with great leadership and great senior play. Newcastle with just great talent. What a war. The other one that caught my attention was Carmel beating Fishers.
Yep.
Fishers got off to a really poor start, and they'll get the ship righted, I'm sure. But Carmel, I think, is probably a little better than what folks think.
Yep. Monday night, we talked about Yorktown and Westfield. It's always usually a really good game across the board, but too much firepower for Yorktown as usual.
Yeah, it started off as the Bloom and Baldwin battle years ago, and they still have that game going on. Not enough offense for Westfield. Mackenzie Daphne needs a little help out there, but they're going to be good in the future.
Yep.
Yorktown still, like I said, they're the best team in the state until someone beats them. It's almost been 2 years since someone's beat them. Just keep that in mind.
Yeah. Tuesday night, we talked about Wapahani and Delta. Wapahani beat Delta in 4, and we had an injury early in that match.
Yep.
It's kind of set the tone, I think, a little bit. Just kind of a little bummer for Delta to get out of the gate.
And Delta's beat up.
Yep.
They're really beat up now. Molly Hunt with the ankle. Griggs Moore goes down. Deringer's out now. That team is pretty depleted, and
Yep.
Whitney Stewart's really trying to put together a new regime there, but it's going to be tough for a couple weeks. Wapahani, best young team in the state.
Yep.
They may be as good as anybody freshman class-wise.
Yep. And then went up to Dwenger and watched those guys play Belmont. Belmont just need a couple more pieces. I think they'd be pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Dwenger took them down in straights. The Hudson kid on the left side bombing balls. Then they had a couple other kids that were really pretty good. They have middle one is Xavier just dominating in the middle of the court, and have a lot of pieces.
Tim Hauser got a nice squad.
Yeah.
I mean, Dwenger is capable of beating anybody, but then, about 3 days later,
Correct.
Loy Ball and pulls his magic, and Angola beats Dwenger. And Angola, another senior-laden team with great coaching. It's going to be a fun year. All of these games kind of play into what we're going to talk about later, and it's parity.
Yep. Wednesday night, it could be a possible state finals down the road. Newcastle took on HSE and swept them. It seemed like Newcastle was rolling on all cylinders, especially in this third set.
Newcastle plays this kind of volleyball, they're not going to lose. In that game, they're up 20-9 in the second set. They're up 10-1 in the third set. I mean, HSE is a very, very good team. Now, Jason Young is going to have to make some changes.
Yep.
He needs more offense,
Yep.
and he's probably not going to get enough offense running that kind of hybrid 4-2 where he's got a center in the front row in all 6 rotations. He needs more offense, and I'm sure he'll tweak with that offense and tinker around and get it where it's got to go. But the real story there is Newcastle coming out playing inspired.
Yep.
3
straight sets.
Yeah, and they're going to have a bullseye on their backside all year long, much like Yorktown did last year. And they're going to find out how hard it was to do what Yorktown did. The Yorktown folks are all happy because what they did last year will not be challenged because Newcastle, after the first day of season, had already lost more sets.
Correct.
And then Yorktown did all year last year.
Correct.
Yorktown won, now Newcastle 2 sets. But what Yorktown did last year with that bullseye was amazing. Newcastle, it's going to be interesting to watch how they navigate it. But if they play like they did against HSE, no one's going to touch them.
Yeah, and then on Thursday night, one of the games that stood out to me was the Mercy and Providence game we talked about. Providence takes them down in 4.
Yeah, Providence is the real deal. We talked about it. You know, they've had a Hornet in that team for about 60 years now. There's 3 Paricas in there.
And I guarantee all the dads are back too.
Oh, God. You know, that's just a great setting for volleyball. But, you know, good for Terry Parica, one of the best coaches in the game, and obviously loaded.
Yep. Lazy Boy games of the week. Going to talk a few. We got one just about every day of the week. Friday didn't see any good matches, but Monday night we got Silver Creek heading to Floyd Central, so that should be a good one down in the bottom half of the state. And then Tuesday night, got a couple ones. You know, I like the Seymour and Columbus East game, just because Seymour being that big school down south, just always big and athletic. Columbus East is always solid. And then Dwenger and Leo.
Well, Dwenger and Leo is going to be a showdown. A couple of real elite athletes.
Yep.
I do like your focus on the South. It's tremendous.
Yep. And then Wednesday, Yorktown and Carmel. And Yorktown's headed to Carmel.
Well, you know, Yorktown, like I said, is loaded. They haven't been tested yet. They're going to be tested pretty quickly by this Carmel team. You know, Carmel taking down Fishers the way they did has got a lot of people surprised. So Yorktown, I think, the better team there, but that's a good early season game. And a really good, it'll give us a barometer to see how good Carmel really is.
Then we talked about Thursday night, we got Heritage Christian versus Buff. That should be a good one in the Nola State.
Private school showdown.
Yep. And then another one that'll be really good is Crown Point and LaPorte up north.
Well, two new coaches. Heritage Christian, new coach. Buff, new coach. That should be a showdown. 2 coaches I think are going to be very good before it's all said and done. You know, Snyder and Colvin, and I think it's going to be tough to beat them for Buff, but we'll see.
Yep.
Crown Point, Duncan, like I said, Duncan made comment that this team is the real deal. We'll see how real they are with LaPorte. Always a tough challenge.
Yep, no doubt. Talking about our new sponsor, we're kind of continuing. We were talking about Mermaid pools, top players to watch. I got a couple, we're all seniors this week. Mm-hmm. And let you give a little rundown there. Got their commitments and everything.
Cambry Lucas out of Northview. We talked about her a little bit early on in the last show. Heading to UT Martin, and is going to be a steal for UT Martin. Tremendous player. You know, 416 assists, 498 kills. When you get that kind of balance, you know your all-around game. Almost 200 digs last year, 50 aces is impressive, and she's the real deal. Your girl.
Yep.
Emily Brown McCutcheon.
I've always enjoyed her. She's just a defender like no other.
Well, she's going to a Power 5 school. She's heading to Missouri. You know, 519 digs, 58 aces. You start putting in 50 plus aces, you got a rocket and a bazooka for an arm. And Emily Brown is a real deal.
And the third one to kind of talk about just committed this past week.
Wow.
Going to Big Ten. So
Savannah Chacon, what an illustrious career those guys have had at Crown Point. Our sister had the gruesome injury in the state championship game a couple years ago. Savannah was young at that point, but you know she's a baller. And when I say that, she's old school. She can do everything you need her to do. If you need her to hit it, she'll hit it. You need her to set it, she'll set it. She'll dig it, she'll pass it, she'll serve it, she'll block it. One of the best all-around players in the state of Indiana, and one of the reasons that Purdue gobbled her up, and she's one of the reasons Crown Point's in the hunt.
No doubt.
Hagen Tinkle. Big, strong arm. I made reference to having a bazooka for an arm. Reagan Tinkle can light up a ball. When Reagan Tinkle is engaged and when Reagan Tinkle is in the right spot, she maybe hit as heavy a ball as there is in the state of Indiana. Big, solid, right side type kid. Hits pin for these guys. But she's a big part of the Hagerstown program. Heading to Georgia to play for Tom Black, and Reagan Tinkle is the real deal.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
And then last but not least, Lexi Almodovar. Obviously, I'm kind of biased. She played for me this past year. She's kind of a do-it-all kid too. She's a volleyball player. The greatest growth the game has ever seen. The least number of kids playing volleyball, meaning we don't have kids that can do the whole thing. You know, I said last week, you got to pick a kid that you would like to play doubles with. Lexi Almodovar.
Yep.
554 kills, almost 300 digs, 52 aces. I mean, spectacular kid, and heading to Dayton. She's going to have a great college career.
I'd like to talk about that. Would be a great little fit right there for her to do. maybe even a hit for them still a little bit.
Yeah,
still
she's got
trying
that
to-
shot.
She's
She's
got
got-
that,
she's
that
got a
possible
shot.
option.
Yeah.
So, talking about, not preseason anymore, but GearMunciana.com rankings for the top 10.
Yeah.
And you got some honorable mentions.
Yeah, I'm gonna give a little bit of love to Angola, undefeated still, and Lloyd Ball, not only a great friend but a great volleyball person, player, coach, advocate, ambassador. I love seeing what he's doing at Angola. He's got a senior laden team, and he just come off with a big win against Winger, and he's got them going in the right direction. Eric Beaumont and Mount Vernon.
Yep.
Undefeated, and he's been building this for a while. Eric's been tinkering with this for 3, 4, 5 years, but Mount Vernon 3-0, and they're right on the cusp of being ranked, and a very, 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 very good team. And then Perbuff.
Yep.
Big
3A tournament this past weekend.
Very well coached, and I don't think you count them out. They're as good as anybody.
Yep. Then we get into the top 10.
Couldn't make a decision.
Yeah.
Split it. 10 is split between Carmel, who's 2-1, had a big win against Fishers, lost to HSE, but some close scores.
Yep.
Still not sure about Fishers, so I don't know how big a game that was.
Correct.
Fishers is, like I said, they started off the season in our top 5 and it's now dropped out of the poll.
Yep.
Little sneak preview of what's coming. Evansville Memorial, we put with them. They handled Brebeuf, and Brebeuf is good. They handled Northview, and we just talked about Northview having some loaded athletes. I go Evansville Memorial and Carmel at 10.
Yeah, and like you talked about, you take down Northview and Brebeuf in back-to-back matches. That's a heck of a start, especially for the 3A little battle in Danville.
Yes.
So 3-0 against the 3A opponents. Number 9.
Dwinger. I like Dwinger. I like everything you came back, ranting and raving about the Hudson kid. And
just bombing balls.
And Hauser's he's got a good squad. He's been tooling this. And keep in mind, this Dwinger team was the most significant match the last 2 years in a row for Newcastle on their way to back-to-back state championships. And when I say significant, meaning they're the only ones that really pushed Newcastle to the limit.
Yeah.
And they had them both times. They had them this summer in summer heat. This Dwinger team is very good. And you look at the hiccup with losing to Angola. I think Angola is a very, very good team. This may be a year where that Fort Wayne area really rises, but Dwinger is my 9.
Yeah. I don't know how got the record wrong, but Avon's 1-1 on the
Yeah, and the only loss was to Center Grove.
Correct.
Avon is extremely well coached, and they're a legacy team.
Yeah.
They're a team that every year they're going to be in the hunt. I got them at 8, and I think that they don't move, even though they did lose a game, but they lost to a Center Grove team that I think is going to be in the hunt all year long.
Like you talked about, I think Center Grove is going to be that top 2, top 3 team throughout the year.
Yes.
Next on the list, we got number 7.
Crown Point. I said this earlier. Coach Duncan doesn't talk unless he has reason to.
Yep.
Chacon is, like I said, one of the most gifted athletes in the area. They beat a good Munster team. They beat a very athletic Andrian team to start the season. I think you're going to see nothing but more of that going on. This Crown Point team can play.
Yep. Number 6.
McCutcheon. You came back and you were really impressed with these guys. McCutcheon just rolled through Fishers.
Yep.
And the scores, it just kept getting worse and worse. They've got talented back row play. They've got talented pin play. I think they're a team to keep an eye on. And we talked about them being in the hunt early, but they're undefeated early on.
There's a lot of things with McCutcheon that I really like is great ball control. They got 2 great little left sides, ball control. They handle the serve reception really well, but more importantly, they do a lot of good things across the board.
Yep.
Number 5.
HSC. Beat a good Carmel team. We got to see how good that Carmel team is, but I think it's a good Carmel team. Got rolled by Newcastle.
Yeah.
HSC is a team, like I said, they got to find their identity. They need a go-to. At some point, you're going to have to find somebody in that offense that's going to be a go-to on every play.
Yep.
I also think that they're going to have to tweak some things and get into a situation where they don't spend 6 rotations with 2 hitters in front row.
Yep.
And so, right now they're by 5.
There you go. All right, number 4.
Providence, already on the move. In Mercy, beating Mercy in 4 is a huge accomplishment. That Providence team is a real deal.
Yep.
And Parika is real, always is. I think you're going to see them in the hunt all year long. Their ball control is one of the top 3 ball control teams in the state.
Number 3.
Center Grove, the 5-set loss to Newcastle was all. They beat a good Avon team. They beat Martinsville. Center Grove is, MJ Hamill and Burgess, those guys, they're going to be a team that you're going to have to deal with for the rest of the season.
Yep.
They're going to be in the top. I wouldn't be surprised to see them in the state championship.
Yeah, no doubt. All right, number 2.
Still undefeated after almost 2 years, Yorktown. And I'm telling you, I keep telling people, they are the best team in Indiana until someone beats them.
Yep.
And no one's done it yet. Carmel will get a shot at them this week, but they took down Westfield and Muncie Central, and they're off to a 2-0 start.
Still rolling.
Six straight sets, and that's what they did.
Yeah, like 106-1 in the last time.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
And number 1.
Newcastle, you saw both ends of them. Some matches, some sets really good, some sets really not against Center Grove. HSE, they turned on the afterburners and just put on a show.
They did.
When the Shaftmasters are in sync, they're dangerous. But when they're really dangerous is when the ball control was with Bailey Cox leading the way. When the ball control is elite, they can get the middle involved. And the middle, especially with your girl Layla running the show there. When she is on, she is a matchup nightmare. HSE had no one that could play with her. She was the difference in that match. And so when they take care of the ball and they can open up everybody, they're going to be unbeatable.
Yeah.
When they have to be really singular and very predictable, they could be in trouble. But right now, that's the best team, and best team in the state of Indiana, and trying to become the best team in the United States. But great week of volleyball, buddy.
Not too bad.
And it should be a great weekend. Get out and see somebody play. Until next week, be good sports fans.